Hello, my name is Romina Joya, and this is my presentation for my master's project called Designing for Trust, a human-centered design approach on dog mining through community-driven technology. I will be covering the following aspects: project motivation, research question, background, methodological approach, findings, design work, and then finishing with the key outcomes. Starting with the project motivation, my aim to explore this topic stems from the growing increase in pet ownership in recent years, with a particular increase during the COVID pandemic, where a lot of pets were adopted. And now that life has gone back to normal and with people's busy and active lifestyles, uh, care for their pets becomes very necessary while traveling, weekends away, work trips, or even occasional day to day instances. Nowadays, relationships between owners and pets are very intertwined, and this means that the dog's well-being is directly influencing on the owner's well-being. And existing solutions like kennels and dog hotels seem to work as a transactional service, tackling practical aspects but disregarding emotional aspects. And this is something that motivating the exploration around this topic. Two research questions guided this work, with research question one being how can we use technology to connect people with similar needs and wants, a case study on dog minding. So this focuses on exploring how design and technology can facilitate connection between dog owners and dog enthusiasts, and the focus is put on the owner's perspective and experiences. Then research question two, how can the learnings from the previous research question be applied beyond the context of dog minding to inform solutions in other scenarios where people with similar needs and wants want to connect? So this is an additional goal of the project to evaluate how the findings can then be transferred into other scenarios where people want to connect. Moving into the background, to gain insight on the selected topic, a background study was conducted via literature review and competitor analysis. For the literature review, studies were analyzed around building trust and connection online, dog ownership, and the use of social media and technology and its effects on well-being. One of the key insights from the studies proved that building connection and in a meaningful and trustworthy way online is indeed achievable. Another insight confirmed that dog ownership provides happiness, purpose, and gives owners a sense of achievement in their lives. And an identified gap is the lack of studies and developments around technology and how this can be used with regards to pet care. So this highlights a space that needs to be addressed and that influence this project's design work. Existing solutions, as mentioned before, seem to work in a transactional framework, and while this is effective in practical terms, it fails to address emotional aspects for the owner. Upon learning from the background, the following methods were employed, starting with user research, which was conducted in the form of semi-structured interviews with 6 current dog owners. These were held both virtually and in person and recorded for analysis. The recordings were transcribed and analyzed using a thematic analysis approach that concluded with the construction of 5 themes representing the insights, needs, and wants expressed by the users in regards to their dog's care and well-being. So this knowledge and themes informed and laid the groundwork to proceed with a design phase where a digital solution was developed. So an app concept was produced and wireframes were developed to give the visual representation. The knowledge from user research showed that although mining is a big concern for owners, this is rooted in a broader problem, which is emotional struggles around pet ownership and care. When emotional aspects are not fulfilled for the owner, their life lacks comfort and ease. The data analysis concluded with the formation of 5 themes related to emotional complexities, support and validation, life organization for owners, responsibility around caregiving, and strategies to navigate care challenges. By focusing on the emotional complexities, life reorganization, and looking for support, these themes inspired the development of a solution that facilitates meeting alike people online, connecting, forming relationships, and relying on one another for support, information, and eventually also care for the pet. Designing the solution involved several stages and iterations to produce an application design that fosters connection and emotional support. This started with low fidelity sketches to give shape to the design. Moving then to mid-fidelity wireframes to give a more visual representation. And then finally giving the solution high fidelity wireframes and also assigning a name, which is Maldra. This is the Irish word for dog. And a vibrant and engaging color scheme was chosen to represent this dynamic solution that fosters connection in online settings. So this follows a widely known structure popularized by online dating platforms where swiping left and right allows you to determine if you match or pass on a person. So the solution allows users to meet new alike people, both owners and enthusiasts, build relationships that can then move on to meeting in real life, finding information and resources that is important, and connecting with others, building connections, community, and sharing experiences around dog ownership. High fidelity wireframes were produced to showcase what the application would look like, including a brief onboarding to explain the process. Once users match, they can start a conversation straight away through the Chats tab to facilitate messaging, or they can continue swiping to meet new people. Also, a tab called Pack was developed and this is a community-driven tab where people can share resources, information, tips, and tricks, and this fosters understanding, collaboration, belonging, and community building. This leads to the outcomes of the project. So the challenges with care seem to merely be the tip of the iceberg. It is emotional reassurance and support where owners face the greatest difficulties. So without trust and comfort around their pets, the owner's emotional needs are not met, and only tackling practical aspects for minding is not sufficient. While dog ownership can be deemed as very rewarding, it also comes with complexities and struggles. And with this in mind, the proposed solution was developed in the hopes of providing dog owners with a space where they can connect, form relationships, and seek support with others. So, how do we answer research question one? By designing a community driven solution that fosters connection among alike people through the common denominator that is love for dogs. So, this fosters relationship building that can then lead into friendships, providing emotional support and comfort, and also leads to the finding of a community where people can rely on each other, have play dates, enjoy time together, and just meet. And then how can this be transferred to research question two? By following the same approach, facilitating connection among people with alike interests and a common denominator. So this can be applied to other fields, for example, people moving abroad and wanting to make friends, creatives that want to collaborate, or people that just want to share with others, for example, while practicing a hobby or looking for something new to enjoy. Thank you for your time and attention during my presentation for my master's.